So I'm traveling into what should be a ridiculously beautiful lake, and now is where the travel is going to get really difficult. So I'm setting up the drone to have a little look and see if there's an easy, less horrible way to get across through this creek. I've got a topo map on my phone, which also becomes the controller for the drone. And I've got a paper map as always. This is satellite imagery. Not super high res, so this is why the drone will come in handy here. Give me a lot more detail. And the imagery that I get online is often quite old, so this is as new as it can get. Awesome. Wow, this is so helpful. I can see the clear channel ahead. Okay. I'm going to tilt my view down. So that's where I want to go. Well, that's the next leg. And this is what I need to get through, which is going to be the real struggle. There I am. I don't even know where to start getting through there. Maybe in here. Looks like a little clearing there in the center of the screen. Maybe I can piece something together there. Actually, yeah. Maybe there's a good alley through there. Okay. I'm gonna try that. Where this little creek flows in here, I think that'll be my best bet. Through... Oh boy. Still gotta get over to the right side. Okay. Well, this helps. Sweet. Okay, it's time to check it out on foot. I still have to scout. The drone is very helpful for getting a general guideline, but I'm still gonna go across, scout, and come and clear on the way back. Awkward here. Lots of clumps of grass and around them you can really sink down. Hey, bear! This is gonna be rough. This is an amazing spruce. Huge. That red squirrel likes it too. I knew this was gonna be bad, but it's horrible. It's gonna be very difficult to get the canoe through here and back. I have to come back the same way. Meanwhile, there could be a bear hanging out anywhere in here and amongst here, resting. There's a good stretch of lab T here, which I'll use to connect my trail. And it's over. Still much better in here. Here's the other end. And from here I can get back in the canoe for a little while. This rock here. section's pretty good. Oh, it's one down. A lot to go. So peaceful here. Okay, here's the end of the road. Got another overland section here, similar to the first one, which took 2 hours to clear, and it took a surprising amount out of me. So, better muster up my strength again. Look at the guns on this guy. Whew. So I'm at the lake, the first lake, and it's really nice. And the trail ends well, starts well, and in the middle it's a disaster. So it'll be a while before I get here with the gear. And I'm already so tired that I could just set up camp on that rock right there and call it a day. I still got a long way to go. Want to get out into the breeze here. The bugs are coming on and I'm just overheating. It's the problem with this bug jacket. When I wear it, I get protection from the bugs, but it really overheats me and I don't do well in heat at all. I like it cold. So it just drains me. And now I feel spent and I have such a long way to go. I can always stop here. There's no gun to my head. It's a beautiful lake. For whatever reason, I am inexplicably tired. I'm based on the current rate, I wouldn't make it to the lake I was hoping to get to until dark, and then I just have to come home tomorrow and do it all again without actually enjoying it. So I'm just going to stay here, try and scout and clear a little farther if I can today and tomorrow, and then come back with someone, hopefully Aaron, to experience the lake. I think it'll be worth the wait for me, hopefully for you. And I found a really nice campsite on this lake, so who could resist that, you know? Tired, beautiful lake, possible brook trout. Let's do it. This is gonna be home, somewhere on this rock. Sweet. Sweet. Keep a little bit of this caribou moss for fire starter, but I want to clear it away so it doesn't burn along the rock and get out of control. I feel kind of bad clearing off the soil here, which has taken millennia to accumulate. But it'll, it's a big land, I can spare it. Alright. Fished for about an hour and a half, didn't get a bite. Maybe that's on me, but on a small lake like this, it conjures up images of snowmobilers coming in here in the winter when it's all frozen over and covered in 3 feet of snow, and just beating this fishery to death. Small lakes are so susceptible to that. So that thought goes through my mind, but maybe I'm just externalizing blame. In summary, I have no fish to add to my ramen noodles tonight. So it'll be a simple meal. And I was hoping for it to be a special one because this is either first meal in a new pot, this Pathfinder 64 ounce, 1900 milliliters bush pot, or the last meal in old Mrs. Potts here. I don't know if she'll be retired for good, but Aaron and I needed a new pot. This one fits inside of this one. It's not that much bigger. This is 1.5 liters. This is 1.9 liters, but that really makes a difference. For 2 people, I find that's a good size. The 1.5 is just enough usually, but just scraping by. So this will be quite nice. It's a really nice looking pot. No plastic on it whatsoever, which was a deal breaker for me on any other pot that I looked at. It's got a nice little spout there for pouring if you want to drain pasta. Quality bail, very solid. Can't bend this if I've tried. Our old one is getting quite weak. It's very malleable, it's aluminum. But it actually has bits of it that I feel like could crack. And Aaron and I have a 2-week canoe trip coming up, so a cracked pot is not an option. So, welcome to the family. This lake's also chock full of minnows, which at first blush as an angler you're pretty excited about. But I found it to be a pretty bad sign usually. Just a lack of predation from sport fish. There you go. You'll be pretty in no time. Cheers to you, Mrs. Potts. 10 plus years of camping, hundreds of meals and fires. You've been a good pot. Oh, the packet. Of course. Classic move. Oh yeah. Who hasn't done that? Yeah. That's sweet. Just that little opening there. It could actually be a little smaller because a few noodles just fell out. But that's still pretty sweet. Some fish should be nice in here, but it's still good. Can't complain. Beautiful morning here. This lake is full of beavers and they were active all night. I could literally hear them chewing all night. I'm feeling good today. I'm definitely intending on getting to the next lake and proceeding with this route. But there are at least 3 ways you can proceed from here depending on how you want to connect the ponds and lakes that lead to the big lake. So setting the drone up again, do a little recon, and that'll help a lot in making that decision. So there's my camp on that rock. And if I go left, there are 2 ways. If I go right, there's 1 way. Again, there's a nice clearing here, but it ends. And then there's quite a bit of bushwhacking in between that lake. This looks interesting here. I didn't even notice that channel in that marsh, I don't think. And then a pretty clear patch after that. Though I'm sure it's really boggy. And if I take the left path, here's where it forks and I can take either one of these. The one on the left actually looks pretty wide open. It's a real tough call. Well, I'm still not 100% sure at all. But I'm going to take this first one that's near me and try that out. It looks pretty good. Ow!
Landing.
Ow. Chopped me. Ow. So I took out here, and immediately there was a sign of human use. This old trapping box. And this tree is about to go down. But for now, it's a little home to this toad. A really pretty one. But I'm not seeing any kind of a trail. So option number 1 is not an option. It's too steep and rugged, but that's good. Helps me rule this one out completely, and now I can proceed with the other 2 with confidence that this one is not in the equation. So I'm at one of the nice clearings that I could see on the drone, and I was hoping that I could connect to this, but it would be just exceedingly difficult to get up this hill, this rugged hill, thickly forested, to get to this point. So I'll keep this in my back pocket, but I think I'm going to check out the 3rd option, which is the one that I thought would be the best. I just didn't want to start on that one, and fresh moose tracks here. Start on that one and then feel like, oh, what if there was a cut snowmobile trail? Mosquito. What if there was a cut trail on the other ones? So now I can go to that one that I thought would be the best with confidence. Look at this. That's beautiful. quite a beautiful ecosystem here. Look at all these little white fluffies. Trampling my way through the bush here and found a flag, which I find really interesting because what is that marking? There's no trail that way, no trail that way, no trail that way, nor this way. It's pretty amazing that someone else set foot right here in this random spot as I bushwhacked between the two lakes, which actually seems like a pretty bad way to get here. So I have no idea why anyone else would have come here. It's hard just to bushwhack through here. Like there's just deadfall everywhere, small shrubby stuff, and then thick balsam fir and spruce. So far, it's not looking promising. Approaching the next lake and it looks beautiful from here, very rocky. Looks like an absolute gem. Stunning. But look at this, like this is not something you can take a canoe down on your back. See, if I had a canoe on my head, that could have been pretty bad. I definitely will have to come back a different way to my home base and try and find something better. This is not feasible, it's official. Oh. Wow. Oh wow. It's so painful to think that this might not be possible. Ew. Hey, little buddy. Well, it's feeling like defeat right now. None of that looked feasible at all. I wasn't sure if I was going to share my location because of the snowmobile issue I mentioned, but I'll show you on the topo map what I was dealing with now. And it's not that I have anything against snowmobilers, it's just they can get in too easily and in too great numbers. So when I'm scouting things like this, I use this Avenza Maps app. And you can download free federal topo maps on it. So I came up the creek, got into Dead Horse Lake here, and then wanted to get to Glory Lake for obvious reasons. Just look at it. But just getting to this lake has proven impossible. I had yet another big pond, small lake, and then a pond, and then to get through to here, it would have been very rough. So it was a little too ambitious for an overnighter and maybe just too ambitious, period. My three options were to go up this creek and then either into this lake and then cut down into here, or kind of follow this creek over to this lake and then proceed. And then the third option was to cut across this creek over to this lake and then forward. But yeah, none of those seem possible. I don't record my tracks when I'm doing this because they go all over and it's just confusing. So I drop points when I find good clear areas. That's what these are here. And then ideally, by the time I've scouted the route across, I've got a series of dots, points that I can connect on foot, and that becomes my trail. But as you can see, there are only a few here on the end, and then everything else, I didn't record a single point in all of this area because it was just too rough. There was no good clearing that whole way. Hate to pack up so soon. It's time to go. It's a really nice spot here. Right in amongst all these trees. They're kind of surrounding the hammock in a circle. Couple last casts here before I give up and head home. It was a lot of fun using the drone to scout this weekend. It is more of a toy than anything. It was not necessary. I can glean pretty much just as much from the satellite imagery in terms of finding openings as I can with the drone. So I would hardly say it's necessary, and I would not really use it extensively for that purpose again. It was fun though. It's an awesome filming tool. That's reason number one why I have it. I guess Glory Lake is just going to remain a mystery to me, but that's fine. It was a great little adventure this weekend, and if every exploration was successful, then there would be no sport to it. So that is all part of it. On my last trip with Gord down the Black River, I asked him, he's a paddling instructor sometimes, I asked him how he would improve my J-stroke, and he gave me some good tips, which was to not move my upper body so much. I usually like really turn, but he said engage your abs, kind of firm up your abs, it'll help you get a six-pack too. Yeah, right. Like firm that up and kind of power off of that, and don't move your whole body so much. He told me to reach forward with my paddle and you'll feel your abs there, and you just want to kind of use that power, which is good. That's a strong muscle group, right? I'm probably using my wrists and hands too much, and that's why I get fatigue in those areas. If I use the big muscles more, it'll help a lot.